that was our CapEd Makes a Podcast intro music. Hi, Espy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Asia?
I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Welcome to CapEd Makes a Podcast.
Yay!
Oh my goodness. So it's been a little while since we chatted. I suppose we can talk about our Get Give if you'd like.
I think that's the perfect place to start. So for our Get Give, we have updated numbers for everybody. We have hit just a little over $198,000. Still on track for that 200K, which is something to celebrate. Woohoo!
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Very. As a reminder, for the Get Give, anybody with a high yield checking, a brand new high yield checking that meets qualifications, gets $100, and we give $100 to a school of their choice. And we can even go down to the nitty gritty department as well. And we all know our teachers and schools need help, so let's raise that number. Let's get to that 200K. Qualifications are as follows: 12 debit card transactions posted by the end of the cycle, as well as an ACH or direct deposit and e-statements. Pretty simple. I don't know about you, Asia, but I know I use my debit card like crazy.
Yeah, that's true. It's really easy to meet. If you're just using your account, you're going to meet the qualifications. So it is very attainable.
Perfect. And then we do have another recap to give people on the coat drive. Tell us more about the coat drive, Asia.
Yeah, that's really exciting. It's one of our annual drives and campaigns that we do with the Salvation Army, and it keeps the needed supplies here locally. So the one in the wintertime that we do is our coat drive. And so we have barrels at every branch. And this year, because of COVID, in the years past, it's been donations of like new or new. But this year, it was just specifically new coats, which is amazing. And we had over 700 donations of coats. We had multiple barrels just full and overflowing at all of our branches, including the one in Twin Falls. So it was really heartwarming to see the community come out and just donate. And it wasn't just members, it was the entire community supporting these local children. So that was really exciting. And then as always, we also accept monetary donations. So we were able to hit around $1,200 with that. Just strictly again from the community. So that was really exciting. And I love that people are excited about it. And it was so much fun watching the barrels just get full and full, and members were excited to come in and support. I know the Salvation Army is organizing those in sizes, and they start distributing those around Christmas time. And so if anybody in the community is in need for their children, then it is a great resource to reach out to the local Salvation Army, and they will set up a time and make that happen. So that's always a fun one.
That's awesome. It's definitely very beautiful to see the community come together, especially with COVID and all these extra security measures. It's beautiful to still see people participating and willing to help one another. So
Yeah,
I love that.
Sorry, SB. Yeah, I like that as well. I got excited. I was just eager to still talk about it.
It's so exciting.
You know, I was going to mention that it wasn't just coats, even though it's specifically a coat drive. Our community went above and beyond, donated gloves, mittens, hats, scarves. So they really added all of the accessories that are needed for the children as well. So it was just really cool. Unfortunately, I don't have a number on that. We just were a little bit particular regarding the actual coats, but every branch also had above and beyond donations. So I just wanted to add that, pepper that one in.
Yay, that's so awesome.
Welcome back, guys. Hi, Espy.
Hi.
Today we are going to have a little interview with Casey Taylor, and he is the VP of Commercial Lending. So welcome, Casey.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. So, a couple things that we wanted to talk to you about today is that we have a new webinar series, and you had presented on the webinar. And so, if you wanted to give a little recap on what that is and what you presented, first we were going to ask about commercial lending services and what we offer, because commercial lending is still pretty new to CapEd. So can you talk a little bit about what we offer the community and our members?
Sure. Yeah, so we've been doing commercial lending for about 7 years now. And we offer a full platform of commercial products. I think anything you can get at a bank, you could get at CapEd. Obviously, we're not going to be lending to Fortune 500 companies, but we have all sorts of lending available, be that equipment lending, term lending, real estate, lines of credit, secured, unsecured. We run the gamut of products that we have to offer. So, we're a fully functioning commercial department. We have, a lot of ancillary benefits like treasury management. We work in conjunction with that department. We work in conjunction with our branches and our consumer department to just offer a full product selection on the commercial side.
Wow, that is really great to know. And I'm happy to be able to share that with our members. And if they have a business or they're looking to start one up or bring their accounts to us, it's nice to know that we have full support for the needs that they will have. What are some of the things that you talked about within the webinar for our Lunch Money series?
So a couple things. We talked about capital generation or for small business, the two means of generating capital, which are debt and equity. So we just talked about the different advantages and disadvantages to debt financing compared to equity financing. We talked about what the difference between banks and entrepreneurs and why banks are not entrepreneurs. And we talked about the different types of debt financing. A couple things that I just went over, and then we talked about how commercial credit departments underwrite loan requests. We talked specifically about the 5 C's of credit. Cash flow, collateral, capacity, character, and conditions. Those are the 5 C's of credit. And then we just discussed what requirements we have in terms of information we need to get a decision on a loan request.
That is some really valuable things that you guys went over. That's really great. I'm sure that we had a pretty good turnout. SB, is there anything that you wanted to ask today?
Yeah, so I love that you went over the 5 C's. Definitely very important to know that information and what they stand for and the effect that they do have on your credit. My question for you is more along the lines of advice. So what kind of advice can you give business owners out there about lending? What is like the one thing that all of them should know or do based on the experience that you have? Because you have a lot of years of experience with commercial lending.
So that's a great question. I think that the advice that I would give would be when you are looking at, when you have capital needs for your business, you need to determine where you are in the life cycle of that business. If you are a startup business, it is unlikely you're going to get financing through debt. The reason for that is because banks don't like to take undue risk. We don't like to be projection reliant. We like to see historical, verifiable information that shows what our cash flow ratios are, what our debt to equity ratios are, historical financial trending, etc. We want to look at those things in order to come to a kind of a realization of the ongoing financial viability of the company. If you are in a startup phase, it's more likely that you're going to have to get you're going to have to get capital through equity, which means you're going to have to go to a venture capitalist or an angel investor or somebody who's willing to take a a risk on your company. So if you are in, kind of the middle of the life cycle of your business and you have business longevity, debt it can be a very good thing for your business. It can help you remain viable. It can help you, facilitate growth. And those are the things that you want to talk to your banker about. So if you qualify for debt can be a very good thing. Sometimes debt has a negative perception to it, but most companies have debt. I mean, I mentioned this on my webinar today, but stocks that you own in your 401k, I can guarantee that most of them have debt, and many of them have debt to equity of more than 2 to 1. So it can be something that if used correctly, and has a goal attached to it, debt can be a positive thing for a business.
Well, that's really insightful, and I'm sure that probably gave some relief to some of those businesses to hear that. When you had mentioned startup, I would imagine that we do still have some products for companies that are just starting out, even if they're not looking at large loans. What other advice would you have for them?
Yeah. So, first of all, if you're a startup business, definitely get a hold of your banker. I mean, I'm happy to speak with anybody because I understand. I had a business once. I was a startup business years ago. And, so I understand it from both a entrepreneurial and a banking standpoint. So I would recommend that you get a hold of your banker or give, me a call. I'm happy to go through the different ways that you can, first of all, raise capital, and then secondly, become bankable. Because there are avenues out there that you can utilize through the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and some other things that will facilitate, generating capital to start your business up. But it's typically not going to be a loan. In fact, Mark Cuban once said that anyone thinking of starting up a small business with finance debt is not smart. That's not the word he used. I'll substitute. So, I'm happy to discuss that with anybody because there's so many variables to it. But startups are usually funded by equity and venture capital.
That's great. Thanks, Casey. So where would be the best place for people to go listening to contact you or your department?
Gosh, business lending. Is that business lending at CapEdCU.com, I think, is our department website. You're free to give me a call at 855-4604. Call up the credit union and ask for myself or Mike Garner, who's another commercial loan officer, and we're happy to answer your questions.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that there will be some people who will definitely have some follow-up for you. Well, I'm really glad to hear that the webinar series went well, and I appreciate your time talking us through some of that. That was some really great points that you made. So I'm happy to have for us today.
Sure, my pleasure.
All right, SB, anything else that you wanted to follow up on?
No, thank you so much, Casey, for taking time out of your day. We truly appreciate that. And I am pretty sure that our members appreciate the knowledge that you have shared with them today as well.
Yeah, that was really great. All right, thanks, Casey.
All right, thank you. We'll see you.
All right, bye. Hey, SB.
Hello.
I guess we took a little break, but we're back.
We are back. We took a break right at Read to Rise. It's getting ready to get started.
Yeah, so excited about Read to Rise. Has your son ever participated in it, or has his school? I never asked if you personally have done Read to Rise with your son or not. No pressure, you haven't.
He has not, and I don't think that the school has. So I'm very excited for the information that you're going to provide, because this info is going straight to his teacher, because she is big on reading And I feel like it'll be a nice incentive for the kids and the school to join in on this program.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And our business development team does go out personally and they meet with like every school around the valley and the area in surrounding areas. And they do discuss our Read to Rise. They bring bookmarks and talk about the reading program itself. The program runs from December 1st until April 1st of next year. And the one cool thing this year that CapEd is offering the schools is that the top 5 schools will receive cash prizes. And so the way that they would quote unquote win, if you will, is that each of the students, and this is an elementary age program, the students will log on to our Read to Rise, which is through Reader Zone. It's super easy to set up a profile, and most, if not all, schools are already entered in there. So we have all of the schools' information. So even if it's thought that your school isn't participating, it's they probably are, just maybe they haven't gotten the information out. But most of the schools are listed, so you just go in, create a profile for yourself and your child, and you very easily log the minutes that your child is reading. And so the school with the most minutes logged will, and it is a little bit, it goes kind of in an average, like if there's 800 students, and then there's another small school with maybe, 100 students. So we basically do a percentage so that it's fair. And so the top 5 schools that have the highest logged minutes receive prizes. And not only do they receive cash prizes this year, next spring when the weather is good, and hopefully some of the in-person restrictions are lifted, we will then bring out our Read to Rise hot air balloon. And that is such a cool image, and it's just such a really fun experience for those kids to have. We bring it out, we set it up, we inflate it. It's tethered, so it's not like it takes off anywhere, but the kids are able to participate in that, and some of the older kids even help with packing it back up. So that's really exciting. And then we also have Edward the Bookworm, which is our reading ambassador puppet. He comes out and reads to the younger children. It's just a lot of fun when we come out and do that. So the kids get excited about it and they get a reward for doing something that they're already doing anyway. And it's just a really nice thing to be able to encourage them to continue reading and just logging their minutes and being able to see what progress they've made. So if your son wants to participate this year, he would be really excited to do so. And it's a lot of fun to be able to watch those minutes grow.
That's so awesome. And just for all the parents out there or teachers, where can we find more information, not only on how to download the app, but also information on the prizes that the schools will be earning or winning this time around?
Yeah, thank you for asking. It's at CapEd.cu/Read to Rise. So it brings you right to that page, and we have all the information on the reading program itself, the details on how to log into Reader Zone and set that up. So everything is there, and it's really easy to access.
That's so awesome, so exciting. I'm definitely going to sign up my son for it. A little incentive for him to read more. So that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Asia.
Yeah, you're welcome. We're excited to be having it kicked off here in the next couple weeks. So I'm excited to see all the kids start logging their minutes and cheer them on.
That's so awesome.
All right, SB, I think that we have reached the end of our CapEd Makes a Podcast. So I don't have any jokes for you today. I only have one, and I'm going to save it for Matt.
Okay. I'm waiting for that joke, but if you're saving it, that's fine.
I will post it, so you will be able to go on and see it.
Perfect. Where are you going to post it?
I'm going to post it on our Facebook and our Instagram feed. Maybe I'm going to do it on stories. I have so many choices. I don't know what to pick.
I think you should do both of them, and you should share the handle with everybody else so that they can see the jokes and see you guys behind the scenes going to the schools and having fun while driving from one place to the other.
We do have a lot of fun. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, if you are not already following us on Facebook or Instagram, it's just our CapEd page. And we are easy to find. And then you will be able to keep up with all of the things that we are doing within the community. We really love to post pictures of what's happening as well. It kind of earlier when we were talking about the coat drive, we shared all of the progress and all of the pictures of the coats and all of our employees supporting it. So that was a lot of fun to watch. So it is nice to have an up-to-date, real-time experience to share with our members. So yep, just go to CapEd Credit Union and find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Awesome. Well, I think that's the end of it.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, SB.
I appreciate you. I can't wait until our next one, our next
Me too.
podcast.
Yes, I'm excited to have an update on our Get Give. I bet we're going to be over 200,000, so that's going to be really exciting.
That's the hope. Fingers crossed.
We'll get there. All right, thanks, SB. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
For more information on our Get Give program and our commercial lending products and services, please check out our website at capedcu.com. Share accounts are insured by NCUA.